Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I'm going to be talking about the two types of expectations that kill your relationship. People always say don't have expectations from other people because they do not owe you anything. While this might be true for the general public, it is not true for romantic relationships. This is because you've committed to building your life and your future with this person. It's not just the right thing to do to have expectations of them. It is something that you must do as a matter of must. However, when you're making these expectations, when you have these expectations of these people, you need to be able to differentiate between realistic and unrealistic expectations, between healthy and unhealthy expectations, and between clear and unclear expectations. And I will explain some of these things to you in today's video. First of all, let's look at what the word expectation means, okay? So here it says, a strong belief that something will happen or be the case. The second definition is that I believe that someone will or should achieve something. Okay? Right. So now that we know the meaning of expectations, we are now going to talk about the different types of expectations and the two types particularly that kill your relationship. Healthy expectations are those expectations that you have of your partner that are really, really important and necessary and central to the growth of your relationship. For example, mutual trust, mutual respect, care, compassion, involving you in, decisions that affect the two of you and decisions that affect your family, how to handle finances, even down to who does the chore in the house. What should we do? What are you doing? What am I doing? These are healthy expectations that you have and you should have of your partner. And so it is okay for your relationship for you to have healthy expectations. You would expect your partner to be committed to you. You would expect your partner to trust you, to respect you, to care for you, to be kind to you, to be compassionate to you, to be empathetic, to take care of you, and all of those things. They are absolutely healthy and they are realistic expectations. Healthy expectations don't affect your relationship. What actually affects your relationship are unhealthy expectations, which will appear as two things. Number one, unrealistic expectations, and number two, unclear expectations. What are unrealistic expectations? Unrealistic expectations are those expectations you have of your partner that are too high and outright impossible for them to achieve given the circumstances surrounding your relationship. For example, if you are in a long distance relationship, you can't expect your partner to always come to your city every other weekend, especially if you live, in cities that are far apart from each other. It will be really, really unrealistic for you to expect them to always come to see you just because they probably want to rest on that particular weekend, or they have work to do, or they have other activities that they've scheduled for that weekend and they literally cannot make it. So do not put it on them that, oh, every weekend you have to come and see me. That is not possible. Okay, that's really, really unrealistic. For example, again, if when you were dating someone you always see them looking all peng, all made up, looking really attractive, and then you get married and you think they are always going to look like that. That is very, very unrealistic because there will be days of bedhead and bad breaths. Yes, absolutely. What you need to remind yourself of in these kind of days are what actually attracted you to the person in, at the early stages of your relationship. What attracted you to the person in the first place. But thinking that they're all going to, when they wake up from bed in the morning, they will just magically be made up, they'll have good breath, they'll just be like angels, like when you always go out on dates. Nah, that's not gonna happen. That's really unrealistic, okay? Or for example, if you think that, oh, we should be having sex 5 days a week or 5 times a day, is that a realistic one? No, because you have life happening, right? This is real life, okay? Work is happening, you need to do a lot of things around the house, and it's not possible. It might not be possible. Some weeks it might be possible to have sex 5 days a week. Some weeks it might not be, but don't make it cast in stone that this thing has to happen, otherwise this relationship is not a good one. Finally, I would also give this example where, you know, you probably expect that your spouse should make fresh meals for you every night of every day, even after they've come back from work and they're tired and stressed and cannot do that. That is really unrealistic and will cause a lot of hurt in your relationship in the case that your partner cannot achieve these expectations of yours that is so high, or that are so high. Okay, so are there days where she can probably do it, where he can do it? Maybe. But would you say, oh, if they don't do it all the time, then this relationship is actually not worth it? No. So don't set unrealistic expectations in your relationship, because it will lead to a lot of, you know, disappointment and frustration and resentment in your relationship. Think about what your expectations are and ensure that they are realistic in reality, and given the circumstances of your relationship, that there are things that are achievable and doable, and you're not just putting unnecessary stress on your partner or on your relationship. The second type of expectation that hurts a relationship will be unclear expectation. I'll explain to you what this means. Unclear expectations are those expectations that you have of your partner, but you haven't outrightly said it to them. You haven't communicated it to them. You haven't told them in clear terms that these are the expectations that you have. Whereas in unrealistic one, you probably have mentioned it to them, but they still cannot achieve it. Unclear ones are the ones that you haven't even said. You just assume that they should know. Okay, an example of that would be if you love flowers and you pass by a flower shop and you just say, oh, these flowers are beautiful. Generic. Very generic. And then when you get home, you're just angry that, oh, your partner didn't buy you flowers. They couldn't even catch the clues. You didn't give no clue. You did not give any clue. If you actually love those flowers and you said it and your partner didn't pick up, you know, the fact that you love the flowers, what you need to do is to tell your partner that, oh, I actually love flowers and I appreciate if you buy them for me once a week, because it really means a lot if it's coming from you. That is communication. You have said it clearly and they know, rather than you just say, oh, flowers are beautiful, and you just go to bed waiting for your partner to buy you flowers. If they don't buy you flowers, it's no fault of theirs, because you haven't communicated it clearly. Another example would be, for example, when you were dating, your partner is always the one planning the dates. Okay, so you get married, life happens, a lot of things get into the schedule, and they don't plan the date. You're just like, he's not planning the date again, and not planning. No, stop murmuring and complaining and actually tell them that you want to go on a date. Matter of fact, why don't you plan the date? Okay, like, stop being there waiting and saying, he was planning it anyways when we were dating. Why can't he plan it now? If you want to go on a date, why can't you plan it? Like, it's even sweet if there are two people who are showing thoughtfulness in the relationship and are trying to make it work, rather than one person doing it all the time. Okay, if you want him to plan it sometimes, you can say, oh, baby, please, can you plan this date for us, you know, or I'll plan the next one. Make it a mutual and a joint effort, rather than you just sitting there and holding resentment because you think your partner should do something, meanwhile you haven't communicated it to them and they're actually not doing it, and you just are angry and you start behaving in an irrational way because you have an expectation in your head which you haven't translated into spoken words and said to your partner. Final example of this would be if you are someone who expects that your partner should call you 5 times a day, text you 20 times a day when they're at work to just check up on you because it's nice and you love it. Meanwhile, your partner is someone who would focus on their work and would prefer to just, when they come back home, they want to talk to you about everything from start to finish. Or they have really busy schedules in the office and can only call you once or text you once. And then you get angry that, oh, you should call me 5 times a day. You should always pick my calls when I call you. They're probably in a meeting or something. And that's really like, you haven't even communicated that you want them to call you that frequently or to text you frequently, but you're angry because you just think that, well, they should know that we are partners and they should always 10 million times a day text me or pick my call as soon as I call whether or not they are in a meeting, that is not the right thing to do, and that's an unclear expectation. If you communicate to your partner can say to you, well, I can't do this 5 times a day, I can maybe try and do 2, I can call you when I'm on break. You know, you can then work out something that really works for you and everybody is happy. So next, I'm going to be sharing with you how to deal with unrealistic or unclear expectations before they deal with your relationships. I'm telling you, like, expectations unmet, unmatched, unclear, unrealistic, unhealthy, all these kind of expectations, they actually kill your relationship, because partners get frustrated because they also think that their partners are not taking them seriously, or sometimes the other partner thinks that there is too much demand from the other person on them, and so 2 people feeling resentment and frustrated and not feeling supported or supportive of each other in their relationship can actually kill that relationship. So now I'm going to share with you how to deal with unrealistic and unclear expectations. Number 1, you need to review your unrealistic expectations and their sources. Okay, sometimes a lot of us form our expectations from movies that we watch, thinking that that's how things work in real life. Sometimes it's from social media, sometimes it's from past relationships, sometimes it's even from the families that we grew up in, or from our interaction with our friends. Okay, so what you need to do is to do an assessment of where you have picked up the expectations that you have and that you want to apply in your relationship, and see if they are actually the right thing to do, given the kind of relationship that you're in and the circumstances surrounding your relationship and your partner. Review those expectations of yours that you have and ensure that there are things that works for you and for your partner and the circumstances surrounding the relationship in which you are in. If they are unrealistic, throw them in the bin, or actually adjust them to suit the situations surrounding your relationship. I should also say this, while you are trying to review those expectations, what you need to know is that the only thing that remains unchanged are the values that you want in your partner. Okay, your expectations of the kind of values you want in your partner are the things that should remain unchanged, which I think you should have checked before you actually get into the relationship with them in the first place. Okay, so expectations can actually be changed or reviewed based on the circumstances surrounding you both, but what cannot be changed are the values that you want in somebody. With unclear expectations, you need to communicate what your expectations are to your partner. Your partner is not a witch or a wizard. They don't know what is going on in your mind. You need to communicate to them in your language, in a language that they understand, that these are the expectations that you have and these are the things that you think. Don't assume that they know or they should know because you're in a relationship. You need to tell them. Be comfortable sharing what your expectations are, and you can walk through with your partner to know if there are things that you can do or things that you cannot do. Don't just be there resenting your partner or thinking they don't care about you or they're not supportive of you when you have actually not come to a place of sharing these expectations with them, because they probably don't know that there's something that you need from them and they're not giving it to you because you haven't shared it with them. And I know, ladies, like, we can actually be on this table every time where we're just like, he's supposed to know that I'm not fine, even though he's asked me if I'm okay and I said yes. You should have seen that my eyes is not really looking straight, he was facing that corner, so you should have known. No, you need to say, if you're pissed about something, you need to say, look, I really don't like what you did in this situation and I thought this is how we should have approached it. I'm really not happy about it. And then they can apologize to you, they can explain things to you on what happened. Don't just keep quiet and saying, I'll wait for him to come and ask me first. Say what it is that you need in your relationship. It's a relationship. You need to be able to speak out and to say things that you want or that you expect, and then your partner can walk through. So about communicating your expectations, things would usually change from time to time. The stages of life that you're in would change from time to time. For example, the expectations when you were both married but did not have children yet will be different from what your expectations will be, or will be in addition to what your expectations will be when you start having kids. Your expectations when you move into a new city will be different. Your expectations when you change jobs or you're making, big career changes will be different. And what you need to do is to constantly communicate these expectations to your partner so that they know, okay? You need to constantly communicate so that they know. As life changes, as situations change, you need to also ensure that you communicate your expectations with these changing realities of life. Another thing you need to do is to have an open mind. You and your partner are two different people with two different personalities who have come together to build a life together, and you will have different expectations of each other. Okay, and what you need to do is to find a middle ground where you both are happy with the kind of conclusion that you have reached. I need you to know that it's not every time that your partner will say yes to your expectations or will actually do those things that you expect, partly because they are not obligated to do everything that you want them to do, and also because they can say no if it's not something that suits them or if it's not something that they can achieve. And so what you need to do is to keep an open mind, listen to them when they say no or when they counter something, hear their perspective, and also see through their lens why they have said no, it is not achievable for them, or why they cannot meet your expectations. And so, like I said earlier, walk through that situation and reach a compromise where both of you are happy with the solution that you have come to in terms of that expectation that you have. Final thing is that you need to be discerning and understanding. It's not every time you have expectations. It's not every time you just go and start dishing out your expectations. You need to be able to read the room. Read the room and see if your partner is in a good frame of mind at the time where you're trying to share that expectation of yours, if they are receptive to the ideas that you're sharing at that point in time, if they're even in the right frame of mind to take everything that you're saying. If it's not the right time to communicate that expectation of yours, wait. Keep it until a time where you know they're more receptive to you sharing that expectation, and they're more likely to say yes to you. Okay, don't just go dishing out your expectations at certain times that are not comfortable for them. They're probably going through a challenge at the moment. They're probably dealing with something personally. There are probably things going on that they haven't shared with you yet, or that you even know about, and it's not the right time to raise certain conversations. Okay, you need to be able to be discerning and to be understanding and know that, oh well, my partner is not in a place where I can make more demands from him, and so I'm going to wait until tomorrow, I'm going to wait until the next month, I'm going to wait until this project is over before I start saying what I need for the next project. You need to be able to be discerning so that you are also a considerate person and a considerate partner, and you're not just out there just saying all the things that you want and being selfish in the relationship. So read the room, be discerning, and be understanding. All right, so these are all the ways to deal with unrealistic and unclear expectations in your relationship, so that your relationship will keep thriving and surviving and lasting and passing the test of time, and you guys building the family and the future that you want together. Okay, let me know in the comment section if there are other ways to deal with all of these things that and I haven't shared in this video. If you did enjoy this video, please give it a thumbs up, please like it, please subscribe to my YouTube channel, and don't forget to share this video with everyone that you know. Honestly, share it with everyone you know. Okay, I'm absolutely glad that you've stayed with me this far and you've watched this video and you keep engaging with me. I love you, I love you, I love you so much. Okay, do not forget to be a better version of yourself before the next time that I meet you, and I'll see you in the next video.